Hello and welcome to day 10 of 31 days of essential oils. My name is Tammy. I'm your mentor and guide, and it's hard to believe we are a third of the way through this journey. Wow. I have to tell you, though, I am absolutely amazed as to how things are progressing. In the sense that, just really unfolding. I never expected, I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to share my perspective, my version of essential oil use, which is based on 30 years of independent study. I do not work for anyone. I work for myself. I have always. And this is 30 years of practice, research, modification, because no two bodies are the same. But the other thing is that I actually also have a background in pharmacology. So I focus on the study of plant constituents in relation to regarding human health in relation to drug development. That's how I want to say that. So that's where all of this comes in. And I have to be really honest with you. Over the years, especially these last few years, when you've got people really, really advocating for the legalization of cannabis, and I'm like, but do you guys understand that oils have cannabinoids in them? I've already talked about a couple of them. The one today I'm going to talk about, just in case you haven't read the Holy Basil blog yet, I didn't mention it on the video. So I'll say it here. The Holy Basil actually has beta-caryophyllene in it, which means it's not recommended for anybody who is taking any kind of psychotropic medication. And black pepper is kind of along the same lines because it actually has cannabinoids in them. And that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of oils have cannabinoids in them. A lot of the terpenes found in essential oils are also in cannabis. And so when we're talking about legalizing pot, I'm like, really, we should probably be looking at all plants and understanding that just because it's labeled natural does not make it safe. I realize that we want to believe that, but the fact is that nature communicates via chemicals. And oils are chemicals, like our foods are chemicals, like our personal care is made up of chemicals. That's what that's how it communicates. So the body's constantly getting messages. And so learning how, well, number one, understanding that, and number two, seeing the function and the dysfunction and learning how to support the stability and understanding that the body's doing what it's designed to do. And we may not like the way it's turning out, but we can make an improvement by offering stability. And that partly comes in by not duplicating the mechanism of action, meaning if you're already treating depression, you don't want to use oils that are for depression. You just don't want to do it that way. That's creating more instability. So learning how to use oils in a way that kind of offers a rounding out, kind of a softening, if you will. Because truthfully, our mechanism of the way we target and try to control symptoms is very harsh and very rigid. And so the oils actually breathe gentleness to it. And they kind of just kind of hold the space for healing is how I want to put that. So black pepper is today's oil. And as I mentioned, it does have cannabinoids in it. So it's not recommended for people who are taking psychotropics. There's more about that in the blog. In the meantime, I really, really like black pepper essential oil. I just really do. I like black pepper, period. But it's not. Again, it actually it conflicts with medications in the liver, and it. But beyond that, it's a very nice analgesic. It is warming, so it does kind of influence circulation to an area that kind of helps bring blood into the area and kind of help relieve pain that way. It's very good for the digestive system. It does support the pancreas, and meaning digestive enzymes, not enzymes, but acids. It's necessary for that. Those acids are necessary for the proper breakdown of macronutrients. So I frequently use black pepper with folks that are struggling, that do have borderline or already showing signs of pancreatic issues, or digestive problems, as well as for pain. It also has a very nice antiviral quality to it. It does a lot. It's very good for cystitis. I've used it for cystitis and metabolism. You see, it has a very obviously it has a significant influence on the hormonal system, because if it can help regulate metabolism right there, you know that it's supporting the hormonal system. Trying to think of anything else that I mean, I like to use it truthfully in salves. It doesn't hurt to put it on the skin. It's not a skin irritant per se, but a lot goes a long way. Trying to think of anything else. Bear with me because these are completely unscripted, and if they were live, it'd be easier because I could probably answer questions at this point. But I'm thinking I use it for metabolism again, and so that's digestion. That's really supporting that. It does have the ability, because it's supporting the endocannabinoid system. It does. That's part of the reason why it's also a pain reliever, is because it's the endocannabinoid and the endogenous opiate system work hand in hand. That said, endorphins, which are opiates, are opiates, they are produced in the immune cells. So black pepper is very, very good for supporting the immune system. However, I do not recommend it for people for extensive amounts of time as an immune stimulant. The immune system is very diverse, and so this is one of those oils that for digestion, you don't want to be, what I say, you don't want to be living with a diagnosed autoimmune disorder is how I want to put that, because it can overstimulate the immune system, and that's the last thing that we need. I think that's it. I think that's all I want to say about that for now. I almost clicked off, but I've taken this so many times, and so bear with me here. This is, again, not the best video, I know. I think that's it. I didn't want to click off unless there was something else, but the big ones here are, like I said, metabolism, digestion for sure. It's very good for pain, in the sense that the way it works with pain, as I mentioned, is it's warming, so it does draw fluid into the area, or like you kind of open things up. But it also supports the endogenous opiate system. So now you have even further analgesic qualities to it. There are some things that say that it's worked for nerve pain. I have not myself found it to be very beneficial for nerve pain. And I don't know why that is, other than the fact that whatever was going, this is what I've said in other videos. Just because it's recommended for a specific symptom doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for everybody. And in the case of nerve pain, it really has to be kind of like a nerve damage. But what I do know is that black pepper can be irritating to the system, so I don't see it working very well for nerve pain. But it also is very good for the immune system, but it can be overstimulating to the immune system. So that said, kind of just using it with moderation, and again, it's not really recommended for combining with especially psychotropic medications. All right, so I'm going to leave it at that. Hope you guys are well, and I appreciate you, and I'm sorry for that little blip in there, but I just, like I said, these aren't scripted. I just go off the cuff. And so check out the blog. It'll be out tomorrow. And be looking for day 11. All right, you guys take care.